BIJC created this ignition project for SERV Kent, a charity based in the UK that helps deliver emergency medical supplies like blood, platelets, and fluid samples. When a SERV Kent volunteer picks up supplies, they open the web-based ignition application to log what item they will be delivering. At this stage, the application asks if the volunteer wants to text the controller on duty who is currently overseeing all deliveries. BIJC had been looking for a method to integrate this text option into the application before realizing that the mobile device volunteers were already using could send text messages. Leveraging HTML along with a custom property, the application opens the text messaging software on the volunteer's phone to complete the message. Another key feature of the application is the ability to transfer a session from one volunteer to another when handing off deliveries that are moving too great a distance for one driver. The first volunteer opens the application to transfer the delivery, and the second volunteer's face appears on the screen. The first volunteer simply taps the second's face, then a pop-up appears on the second screen, and the transfer is complete. On the front end, this seems relatively straightforward, but in the background, the scripting is complex. The first volunteer must have the run logged on their phone, and when they hit the transfer button, the system first detects what other volunteers are logged on, and from that pool, who is close enough to receive a transfer. The system accomplishes this by collecting geolocation data from all the volunteers that are logged on and within a 100-meter radius. If there is no one within that range, the transfer button is not available. Once the data is collected, the system produces the volunteer's photographs and a carousel that the first volunteer can click on. To complete the transfer, the system retrieves the first volunteer's session information, sending all of the details of the current run along with the message to accept the session over to the second volunteer. Once the second volunteer accepts, the system closes out the first run and creates a new run for the second, but ties the two sessions together, logging it as a transfer. All of this happens within a few seconds. One of SERV Kent's biggest challenges is losing geolocation data due to compatibility issues with different cell phone and browser combinations, or problems with specific device location services. To alleviate this, BIJC designed a manual entry system. When a volunteer clicks on the manual input button, the system displays additional boxes to fill in date, time, and location. The system, which includes a postcode checker to prevent errors, converts the postcode roughly to longitude and latitude via API. The application has a unique way to select date and time using native pop-ups for mobile devices. Androids and iPhones have different date selectors compared to Ignition's predetermined date and time format. BIJC built a custom module to resolve this discrepancy. More information about the module can be found on BIJC's website. SERV Kent needs to track the mileage that their volunteers travel, which can quickly become complicated. Volunteers routinely make multiple deliveries in a single night, going from Hospital A to Hospital B, then C to D. However, they could be making a delivery from Hospital A to Hospital D without traveling directly between the two. Each delivery is categorized as a different job, so the system uses scripting to determine the number of miles traveled for those routes. If there are multiple deliveries from the same start point to the same end point within a predetermined time, then the script removes those miles, making the assumption that they happen simultaneously. The run log displays all of the runs by volunteers and the routes as determined by the application. Mileage tracking is calculated in real time, so a controller has a better idea of where volunteers are and which runs are in progress at a given time. The application features a roster that volunteers add themselves to when they are available for deliveries. Pink sections indicate bulk deliveries that need a car, while the rest can be completed on motorbikes. This feature has transformed how the charity works compared to 5 years ago when scheduling was done by telephone only. The controller calendar displays volunteers who are unavailable. This is crucial because SERV Kent performs ad hoc deliveries as well for instances like home dialysis that require taking a blood sample to the hospital at the beginning and end of the procedure. By using Ignition, all of this information is now logged into a database and can easily run reports as well as algorithmically generate a full history of deliveries and statistics for specific volunteers, plus a badge. This visual representation was created with a Flex repeater and database queries. Additionally, SERV Kent can generate an infographic on the fly, which is something that can take similar charities a whole day to calculate. For more information, visit bijc.co.uk.
You know, I've been on rota 674 times. I've done 992 runs. I've been a member since the 14th. Oh, ha! I've been a member 10 years. Today.